I'd like you to close your eyes and start with a few deep breaths, choosing to imagine what you are breathing in and what you are breathing out. And then I'd like you to quickly take your mind to a forest. And inside this forest is a clearing where you can see what's out in front of you. Whether you're sitting or standing, I want you to look out in front of you. And in a moment, some things are going to appear in front of you. And first, you're going to be aware of what's happening externally. And out in the field in front of you, there's placed a giant movie screen. And on that screen begins to play a scene that normally triggers you, messes you up emotionally. Perhaps it's a fight with your wife, perhaps it's an interaction with a child, or a coworker, or a boss. Perhaps it's a disappointment. I want you to notice that that scene is playing on the movie screen. And then I want you to notice your character and all the other characters. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove the screen, and out in that field we're going to replace everybody but you out there. So the whole scene is happening without you. And now what I'd like you to do is duplicate yourself. So you're still sitting in the forest, looking out into the field, and your duplicate is placed in the field, directly in that experience. And there's a connection between you and your duplicate, so you're experiencing and feeling everything that's happening to him in this scene. And I'd like you to play the scene, watching it while experiencing it. What is happening in this situation that could activate you? Could activate fear, or anger, or lust, or pride, or blame, or shame, or fear, or guilt, or anxiety, or depression, worthlessness, feelings of not being good enough. And as you watch this external scene, I now want you to end the scene and come back and notice what's happening in your body and in your mind. What has become active, or what normally would become active. This noticing, is the heart beating faster? Is there some sense in the pit, or in the shoulders, or in the chest, or in the throat, or in the jaw, or in the head? Notice the physical sensations. And now notice the thought processes, the inner dialogue. What is that inner enemy, that inner roommate saying? You can't do this. You always do it wrong. Perhaps it's saying, hey, you got this situation. You've been doing some work and you know how to do this differently. But I want you to notice what's being said that isn't you consciously telling yourself what to think and feel. Now, in your own mind, I'd like you to step back even a level further, where you are noticing the inner dialogue that your unconscious mind is running, this inner enemy, this inner roommate, telling you things that you aren't telling yourself consciously. And notice how you have stepped back from the external events and the internal things that have become activated this is where the king's consciousness can come into play. You being able to look out and go, okay, this is happening. And it activated something inside of me that I don't want to operate from any longer. I don't want to operate from fear or anger or panic or inadequacy or not good enough. What do I need to train my inner self to say that supports my new way of life, that supports me as a king? And so inside your own mind, telling that inner enemy what you believe about you. I can do this situation. I may not like it, but I can do it differently. What can you do to get the results you want in this activating situation? Perhaps you can't change the external events, but would you like to face them with faith or fear, with confidence or cowardice? What do you want your unconscious mind to tell you in these situations? That you are helpless, weak, or that you are capable? And just notice what it's like to do this exercise of stepping back from the external events, stepping back from the inner voice, and being you. And when you're ready, come back to now, removing the scene in the field, removing yourself from the forest,